Namaste everyone. Welcome to the new course from Pradipika Institute of Yoga and Therapy. This course is for COVID management. Here we are going to discuss about various aspects of yoga and how it can help us in COVID prevention as well as rehabilitation. This course is brought to you by various yoga experts, professionals who are also doctors as well as postgraduates in yoga. We are bringing this in various languages, that is Kannada, English, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, and so on, for the purpose of everybody should be able to understand and gain value from this course, and language shouldn't be the barrier. Let me just say a few words about our institute. Pradipika Institute of Yoga and Therapy was first established in 2010 in Bangalore, India. It is one of the highest rated yoga institutes in Bangalore. We are known for customer centric, all inclusive, result oriented, and reasonably priced yoga services. We are also an ISO certified yoga institute, provide various forms of yoga to cater to different requirements of different people. There might be young people, there might be old people, healthy people, unhealthy people. So, for various type of people, we have various forms of yoga to suit their needs. We provide yoga, power yoga, dynamic yoga, gentle yoga, APM, yoga therapy. We provide yogic kriyas as well, and prenatal yoga, diet and lifestyle counseling. We also provide yoga at home, offices, and schools. All our services are available online as well as at our studio in Rajajinagar, Bangalore. We are known as one of the most credible and publicly recognized result delivering institute for integrated approach of yoga and therapy. That is where we are using multifold levels of treatment to achieve good results in reduction of various parameters in terms of your diseases or improvement in your overall health. Even if someone is facing diseases such as thyroid, PCOS, diabetes, hypertension, anxiety, depression, for all of these um, we provide yoga therapy, which is very much result oriented. We also provide yoga teacher training course wherein you can take up this course to get educated in yoga to become a teacher. Okay, if you aspire for having a career in yoga, then this is one of the best places to take up this course. About myself, I am the CEO and co-founder of Pradipika Institute of Yoga and Therapy. My name is Shiva Shankar P. Shenoy. I'm basically a computer science engineer, but I shifted completely into yoga field. I've done my masters in yogic science. I'm a certified prenatal yoga teacher as well as Varma therapist. I have more than 7 years of experience and over 10,000 hours of teaching yoga to more than 4,000 students. My main expertise is in yoga therapy, prenatal yoga, yoga for corporates, diet and lifestyle coaching. I'm also the head coach for yoga teacher training program that is conducted at our institute. I also conduct various corporate yoga sessions for various MNC companies as well as Indian companies. Some of them where I already taken is like Pfizer, Bajaj Alliance, General Alliance, General, Metro Cash and Carry, Accenture, and so on. I'm known among my students as a friendly, mature, approachable, and knowledgeable teacher. So anytime you can also reach out to me for any clarifications. We would like to introduce you to what is COVID 19. Most of you might be already knowing it, but like to iterate again for the purpose of knowing what this course is about and why we are doing this at this point of time. It was first identified in December 2019 and it is also called as corona or SARS-CoV-2 virus. As a virus, it requires a host to latch on without which it cannot survive. So there needs to be a living body, only then the corona can exist. So it keeps trying to find various hosts. It is mainly seen to affect human respiratory system through air medium via droplets. So through person to person it transmits through the air medium, the air which we breathe through the nose, through the mouth. How it gets transmitted? It gets transmitted when someone is infected with the coronavirus, and if that person talks or sneezes close to another person who is not infected, then the virus gets transmitted. Even if the person touches the infected object, then also we can get uh, through that infected object. Requires about 4 to 5 days to incubate and show full symptoms. That means, like, if you got the infection, it takes about 4 to 5 days to show up symptoms sometimes. And this is the average that we are saying. What are the symptoms of COVID infection? So, fever, cough, cold, headache, breathlessness, difficulty to breathe, loss of sense of smell and taste, fatigue, tiredness, throat itching or ache, chest pain. All these are various COVID symptoms which are commonly seen. So, for all this, we have various yoga practices which can help to reduce the effect of it. As we observe that in COVID, as the virus is changing over the time, is adapting to the various environment, and it affects different people in different ways. But it is important to note that more than 80% of the people show just mild or moderate level of illness, and they generally don't require any form of hospitalization if properly taken care in time. It can also be asymptomatic in nature, meaning that if symptomatic means all these symptoms you are showcasing. Asymptomatic means even though you might be infected by COVID, you might not show any symptoms. So, considering this, just because we might not show symptoms does not mean that we can assume that we are not infected and we can break the rules of the government guidelines. We must follow them at all time, so that maybe your immune system is strong, you're not showing any symptoms and the body is able to fight it, but somebody else whose immune system might not be that effective might actually become victim and shall start showing symptoms. As we observe that the higher risk is in the older aged people and people who are having autoimmune issues such as arthritis or even diabetes, hypertension, and heart diseases. These conditions you generally show higher risk of infection. How yoga would help here is like when we are being mindful about ourselves. Whenever we start showing any basic symptoms, immediately we can actually start to do preventive measures and reduce the infection levels. By being mindful about self, recognizing initial symptoms, and taking immediate measures, we can prevent COVID infection and its spreading throughout our lung system. And being mindful, that is where yoga plays the key role. We also advise you to have these devices: pulse meter, pulse oximeter, thermometer, steamer, as well as neti pot. So pulse oximeter is one which measures your oxygen levels. Above 95 is totally fine, you are safe, and less than that you need to be little concerned but not overly concerned. There are many practices in yoga, in modern medicines too, which you can take and keep yourself above 95 percentage. And your heart rate should be less than 100 at any point when you're resting. If it is more, then again it is something to be noticed. And thermometer is for checking temperature. So general symptom of COVID is that you might have fever. So your body temperature is supposed to be around 37 degrees Celsius and 98 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit. So keep a check on whenever you're feeling little odd. Do check your thermometer and see what's the temperature. Steamer is for the purpose of taking steam inhalation, and steam inhalation has also shown a lot of good results in terms of management of COVID. Neti pot is something that you will be using as a yoga point of view for preventive measures. We'll be teaching how to use Neti pot in this course. COVID guidelines, most of you would already be knowing, but I would like to reiterate. When you're at home, avoid unnecessary travels. Use disinfectant spray on all the home delivered products. keep your rooms well ventilated and clean. This is very important. Just because you're at home and nobody is going to come to your house does not mean that you keep it shabby. And ventilation is very much required. Fresh air you need to breathe, and we are not going out. So again, it's more important that we are keeping our windows open. Exposure to sunlight is again very important. It helps in killing so many of the bacteria, and it also helps to build vitamin D and bone strength. Because we are not moving around much nowadays, again sunlight deficiency is occurring, and vitamin deficiency and hence calcium deficiency will occur. So make sure that every day at least for 10-15 minutes you're spending time in direct sunlight. If you have terrace, then well and good. If not, on balcony, or just stay near the window and get whatever sunlight you can get. It is also one of the best times to spend with your family. You can share time with them. You can play some games. It's a good time to reconnect, and with friends you can connect online. All these activities will help you be more normal and not getting panicked. It's also very important what you eat. So we encourage you to eat healthy sattvic food, and we'll be looking at what is food and diet and lifestyle, what it should follow in detail in this course. And we do encourage to do yoga. Yoga has shown wonderful uh, benefits that one can have during this COVID times. We'll come to that little later. Watch and listen to positive things. What media you are getting exposed to, it's very important. Make sure that you are not repeatedly reading negative news on your phone or newspaper, or talking to friends, and what all you're listening. Let it be more into the positivity. Yes, we should know the news, the latest news, but that does not mean that only the negative news has to be read. um, Avoid excessive exposure to COVID or COVID news or the negative news on TV, WhatsApp, etc., and discussion with the known people. It is only going to deteriorate your mental state and the confidence level, which in turn will affect your immune function. If you have to go out for work or essentials, wear double mask at all times. Sanitize your hands, forearm every hour, and also we recommend you can use gloves wherever it is possible. Maintain 6 feet distancing. That is very important whenever you're outside. After coming back home, sanitize the hands. Put your clothes into warm water or hot water and wash it immediately, and practice Jalneti Kriya. This is something that we again encourage. So whenever you go out and come, there is possibility of the exposure to get infected is higher, and this COVID enters through your nostril or to the mouth. But for the mouth and the nostril, you do have mask, but sometimes it is possible that it can still get into. But when you practice the Jalneti Kriya, we can flush out all those viral infection that we might be exposed to. Take bath and change clothes into fresh ones. Introduction to yoga. Like we need to understand what is yoga and how it is going to help us. So some brief introduction on that. Yoga is more than 5,000-year-old science that teaches one to handle their body, mind, breath, and soul in a perfect manner. Even though it was previously considered for people who were more into spirituality, today it has gained importance in all the aspects of all the spheres of life, all type of people, be it celebrities, be it sportsmen, be it IT employee, be it a businessman or stock trader or anybody. Everybody has found that yoga is benefiting them if they have practiced it for some time. So, yoga is a complete package for one's physical, mental, emotional, social, intellectual, and spiritual well being. It is important to note that we are not just this body, but our mind, our emotions play a major role in what we feel, how we feel it, and how we respond to various situations. So, in yoga, we mainly speak about Panchakosha Viveka, as a treatment. For any treatment point of view, we look at this 5 levels of existence. So we have 5 levels of our existence. That is this physical body, what you can see, what you can break down. You can see that there inside there's blood, there's veins, there's arteries, there's organs. All this part is the physical body, the structural body. But within that we have the breath body or the prana body. Okay, so prana is what you can see as the vital force or the energy which is making this annamaya kosha, the physical level work. Okay, when a person dies, we say prana has left the body. That means the body is still there, but it is no more functioning, or activity is not happening. So that prana is that energy which is making the body function. Okay, that needs to be in good balance. Then you have emotional body, that is the mental state, how you think, what you think, that affects your breath. So if you become angry, then your breath becomes faster, your prana becomes increased. If you are calm, if you are happy, the prana is balanced. So you can correlate how your mental state will affect your breath and how your breath is going to affect your physical body. And intellectual body is where it where we are talking about the um, intellectual aspect, as in the discriminatory power. Okay, through which you are able to think what is right, what is wrong. So this has to be in proper state, otherwise everything seems negative also seems to be very important, and you give too much importance to it. Bliss body is the happiness body. So happiness is the root cause for all our actions. Knowingly, unknowingly, we do some action or we don't do some action because we believe that it will eventually lead to a more happier state. So happiness is the basis of yoga. Through yoga we can attain the highest state of happiness, highest state of knowledge, highest state of physical, mental, emotional well-being. How yoga will help to prevent COVID infection? We teach something called as Jalniti Kriya, as I previously mentioned, which is part of yoga and helps in sanitizing most of the viruses that is entering through your nasal passage and disinfect it naturally. We use saline, lukewarm, salt water for this. That salt helps to disinfect. And then we have yoga asanas. Practicing various yoga asanas have shown improvement in one's immune system. When stress, anxiety, fear are under control, one's immune system functions more effectively and more proactively. Yoga is no doubt the best stress buster. Pranayama, which is part of yoga, helps in improving your lung function and its capacity. It's very important in this point of time because breathing is the one where you gets most affected in this infection. Meditation helps in connecting with oneself, reduces emotional fluctuations, induces more positivity, encourages uh, oneself to do more and more activity without causing any stress. And it also induces courage and faith in oneself. Yogic diet so ensures wholesome, natural, nutritious sattvic food is consumed that brings positive mindset and active mindset with adequate amount of energy. What food you eat is very very important. If you are eating old food, stale food, or lot of processed food, then the body's immune system also will become weak. The entire digestive system will become weak, and eventually the chances of infection is much higher, and the ability to defend on that infection is drastically reduced. And about yogic lifestyle, it helps one have all the hormones in check and function properly along with optimum digestion and elimination. So lifestyle in the sense we are referring to the what time to get up, what time to sleep, how your work life balance should be, so all aspects, how you're dealing yourself on weekends and weekdays, and all that aspects come under the lifestyle. How are your hobbies, how do you spend your free time? All of this needs to be taken care. So if you see, by following all these things, yeah, yoga is which is part of yoga, we can notice that yoga is the way of holistic living. What you will learn in this course, you will learn yoga asanas which are COVID specific, which are easy, simple, and practical, that most can practice. So we are not dealing in this course, any advanced practices. We are just trying to teach you the techniques which are required for you to, do your improve your breathing capacity, lung capacity, uh, give some movement to the spine, because very less activities being done at home nowadays, being at home and not going to your offices. So all these things will cause stiffness in the spine and the joints, and they need to function properly. If your spine becomes very stiff and you lose your posture, then automatically your lungs also become weak, because the ribs, everything is connected to your spine, and when they become weak, you start hunching, and then your breathing becomes quite disturbed, which eventually leads to many other issues. Then we teach you breathing exercise which can help you to improve your lung capacity and its function. We'll be learning about pranayam, which will increase your overall energy levels, the vitality, helps you to reduce stress, produce nitric oxide, which works very well and against the viral infection. Jalniti Kriya is one of the best defense against COVID. Just like how you use your hand sanitizer for sanitizing your hands, we use Jalniti to sanitize our nasal cavities as well. This is subjected to interest, as well as you need to make sure that you have the Jalniti Kriya, Jalniti pot, so that you can practice this. It will be coming up in the course. So make sure you're buying it and keeping it with you. Um, More details will be shared by email. We also have relaxation and meditation techniques to manage stress, emotions, fear, anxiety, and depression. So, in this period, it is very commonly seen that one is getting easily stressed, maybe due to job loss or staying at home for too long, not able to meet their friends, not able to roam around freely. There are many restrictions which are put forth for your own safety, but that is also adding to a lot of stress. And because of stress, people are eating too much, what you call a stress eating, and the emotions are going out of control. And some people even end up into fear. Like, you hear a lot of negative news, like this relative has passed away, this person, your friend got positive, they are not finding the bed, etc., etc. So when you hear all these things, the fear within you becomes heightened. You become more anxious, and some people even might enter into depression. So it's very important to control what we are going to listen, what you're going to see, what you're going to eat. So pratyahara, basically what you're saying. And to enhance and relieve all these stresses, we are going to learn relaxation techniques and meditation techniques. We can also provide mental and emotional counseling on individual basis. If you require, you can contact us. We have various, diet and home remedies recommendation through this course. Ensure that you are attending that. It will be very informative and useful for you. All the food which can increase the prana, which can increase your immunity, all those things we'll be discussing, and how you can make sure that you're even though by any chance you get exposed, how you can fight back the COVID in a better way and recover faster, and how possibly even avoiding any hospitalization or major medications. And there'll also be short lecture sessions towards yoga education and why it is utmost important at this point of time. Any question and answers, you can, once you're attending through YouTube or online, you can just drop comments, and we'll be answering to you. And if you can also leave your email in that. And once you're attending the live interactive sessions, you can feel free to ask any queries, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. So all these things we are covering in this session. So do attend all the sessions for the best benefit. Make sure that you are inviting your friends, family members, and everyone. We would even encourage, if you can, somehow make your maid or somebody who is even at the lower level. They can also learn and practice in their own language. So we are trying to reach out to maximum people, so that um, the effectiveness is there, and we are actually putting into use various yoga techniques which can build immunity, which can help you to prevent COVID infection. And even if unfortunately you got infected, your ability to recover and bounce back to normalcy is increased. So do attend all the sessions, and welcome to the course again. Thank you everyone for giving the opportunity for us. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Stay happy. Jai Hind. Namaste everyone. Welcome to the day one practical session. Today we will learn some of the loosening exercise and breathing exercises. First, sit down in a comfortable position, back straight, neck erect. You can sit a simple cross-legged, or you can sit like how am I sitting in Vajrasana. Okay, so any position is fine. Sit straight, hands in Chin Mudra, thumb and index touching, other three fingers together, fingers stretched out, palms facing upwards, on your knees or on your thigh. Okay. Now we'll go for opening prayer. Keep your eyes closed. Just observe on your breath for a few seconds. Allow the air to move in and out freely. Just observe the air moving in. Observe the air moving out on its own. Do not try to control. Recognize the various thoughts in your mind. Let go of the thoughts. Do not try to judge your thoughts. Just observe normal breathing. Prepare your mind for the yoga session. Commit yourself to be in the session throughout the session and not getting distracted with the pending tasks, etc. We'll start the session with 3 times Omkara. Deep inhale all together. Feel the vibration of Omkara resonating throughout your body. Deep inhale. Deep inhale. Observe the vibrations. Now we'll go for opening prayer, Shanti Mantra. Bring your palms together in Namaskara Sthiti. Eyes remain closed. Back erect, neck erect. Repeat after me. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub the palms, make it warm and nice. Keep the warm portion of your eyes and slowly open your eyes. Now we'll stand up. Comfortably stand up. Give space 1 to 1.5 feet between your legs, hands on your waist. We'll go for some loosening practices. It's very important to do loosening before any of the main practices so that your blood circulation is better, your blood pressure is better, and also also the joints and muscles are more free to stretch. Now we'll start with neck rotation. Head down, chin touching the throat. Inhaling, move your head towards the right side, all the way back. Exhaling, bend forward from the side. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Do this for 5 times. Clockwise, inhale up, exhale down. Once you're having any neck issues, do whatever is comfortable, do not overdo. Just inhaling up and exhaling down. Make sure you're not doing it very fast, otherwise you feel a little giddy, especially for the beginners. Now we'll go for anti-clockwise, similarly opposite side. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Continue. 4 and 5. Next, we'll go for spinal twisting. Bring your hands shoulder level, fingers touching each other in the front. Now, keeping the legs in the same distance or hip width apart without raising your feet, without bending your knees, try to give maximum rotation in your spine from your lower back to your neck. Completely twist. Look here, completely inhale, and then as you exhale, twist out. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, completely twist out. Inhale, center. Exhale out. Inhale, center. Exhale out. Inhale, center. Continue 3 more rounds. You can do slightly faster, but make sure you're not bending your knees. Make sure you're not raising your feet. Your knees are straight. Feet is firmly placed on the floor. You're giving rotation how much as possible from your lower back till your neck. And come back to center. Release your hands. Next, we'll go for hip rotation. Place your hands on the waist without bending the knees again. Feet firmly placed. Make a big circle all the way back, all the way front, all the way back, all the way front. Make big circular movement at your hip region. These are all the major joints in the body. It's very important that you give nice loosening every single time you practice any kind of physical fitness, including yoga. 5 times hip rotation at least. And now we go for anti-clockwise. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Next, bring both the legs together, feet touching each other, toes touching each other. Bend your knees slightly. Okay. Make sure your hand is right above your knees. You're not holding your kneecap. You're not bending or hunching too much. Keep your elbows straight, back as straight as possible, bend forward. Given this instruction, try to make big circle. Okay, at the knees. If you are finding loss of balance, you can even keep your feet apart and do the same practice. But ideally, keep your feet together. Continue. 3, 4, and 5. Opposite. 5, anti-clockwise. 4, normal breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Next, we go for ankle stretch breathing. You can stretch your leg forward, ankle rotation. Sorry. You can stretch your leg forward and make as wide as possible circle at your feet. Try to make sure that it is wide, and if you're not getting balance, use wall support. Just anywhere you can touch, take some support, and make sure you're giving a big nice rotation. Make sure your knees are not bent, and anti-clockwise 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Similarly, we'll go for the left leg. Balance. 1, 2. Keep the eyesight at one place so that you are able to focus better. 4 and 5. Opposite. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Next practice, we'll go for a side stretch, that is Ardha Kati Chakrasana. So half waist tree posture. Standing Tadasana, that is legs together, toes touching each other, heel touching each other, hands by the side of your thighs, back erect, chest erect. Now we'll go for Ardha Kati Chakrasana. Raise your right hand up, inhale, stretch as high as you can. Bring your bicep touching your ear. Now stretch your hand further up, how much possible, and then slowly exhaling, bend towards your side. How much you can. Try to make sure this hand is not hanging in the air, it is touching your leg, and you're reaching your hand to your knees. And also make sure you're not dropping your chest down, shoulder down. Rotate your chest out so that you get a nice good stretch on the side of your chest and abdomen, and here you find some compression. Observe these changes. Yoga is all about being mindful and knowing what you're doing, knowing what you're thinking, knowing how you're breathing. Inhale, come up. Exhale, slowly drop your hand down. Similarly, we'll do for the other side. Inhale, stretch all the way up, lengthen your arm, bring your bicep touching your ear, stretch your hand up, and with that extended stretch, slowly bend towards your right side. Hold the posture. Make sure you're breathing nicely. Inhale, expand abdomen. Exhale, contract abdomen. Inhale, expand abdomen. Exhale, contract abdomen. This has to keep happening, and you should also be aware. You should know that you're breathing. You should know that there is some stretch. Keep your mind and thoughts in these activities. Inhale, come up. Exhale, slowly release your hand. Now relax. Legs apart, hands apart, eyes closed. Just breathe. Observe the stretches on the side of your chest, side of your abdomen, some changes in your arms. Ardha Kati Chakrasana, everybody can do. Benefits, it will help to improve your breathing, it will improve your spinal flexibility and strength. Next, we'll go for breathing exercises. Bring both the legs together, hands by the side. This is Tadasana. For all the standing postures, we start from Tadasana. So, standing in Tadasana, we'll go for hands in and out breathing exercise. Raise both the hands to your shoulder level. Now, inhaling, open your arms out up to shoulder level to the sides. Exhaling, bring both the palms together. Inhaling, spread your arms out. It is important to note that here you are not just trying to move your hand. It is a breathing exercise, and we are going to make it a breathing exercise only by doing deep breathing. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Make sure it is synchronized breathing. No sudden inhale, no sudden exhale. How much you are moving your hand, that much only breathing also should occur. So, inhaling, reach up to shoulder level, 100% inhalation. As you exhale, when your palms touches together, 100% exhalation. So, mindfully do the practice. Inhale out. Exhale in. We'll all do together for 7 rounds. Keep your eyes closed, back straight and normal and deep breathing. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. If you are getting any hand pain in between, you can relax, take some time off, and repeat. Try to do at least 7 rounds for good benefits. Make sure you're not moving your hand beyond your shoulder level to the sides, only shoulder level. No need to go all the way back and bend forward. Exhaling, relax. Last round. Inhaling out, exhaling, relax. Return back together. Release your hands down. In this, we will chant Akara. There are various types of chanting. A, O, Ma, Omkara. Different mantras we are using to make certain vibrations in certain regions of your body. So in this practice, we are going to use Akara, the sound of A, and we are going to feel the vibration in our abdomen. Let's try to do that together. Hands in the front. As you exhale, you are going to make the sound. Okay. Firstly, inhale, arms out. As you exhale, loud and clear. Feel the vibration in your abdomen. Keep your eyes closed. Inhale out, loud and clear. Freely chant. Inhale out. As you exhale. And relax. These vibrations have good effect in calming down the mind. It induces relaxation in the various muscles of your body and the nervous system. So chant freely, let there be no inhibitions when you do this chanting. Next practice, we go for hand stretch breathing at 90 degrees. Okay. In this, again, for the ones who are not able to get balance with legs together, if the thighs are bigger, generally this happens, or if you having excessive stress, then also you might lose balance. So for those, you can keep hip width apart legs and continue the same practice. If anyone is facing knee pain, you can, or not able to stand for long, you can as well use your chair and do the same practices. Okay, keeping your legs together. Next practice, hand stretch breathing. Interlock your fingers and place it on the chest. Inhaling, we are going to stretch our hand forward at the shoulder level, 90 degrees to the body. Exhaling, return back. Inhaling, stretch forward. Exhaling, return back. So this is the practice. Keep your eyes closed and practice now with full mental awareness. Inhale out. Exhale back. Ensure you're relaxing your elbows by the side of your chest when you return back. Shoulders are loose. You're not tightening it up and keeping it up. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, relax. Completely relax. Inhale, completely stretch your arms, shoulders slightly forward. Exhale back. Feeling the breath. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. By doing deep breathing, you are giving good exercise for the diaphragm, and better and more volume of air exchange will occur by doing these practices. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, return. We'll do 7 rounds. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, return. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, return. Last round. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, return. Next, we'll go for Akara chanting. Even in this, Akara chanting for 3 times. Inhale, stretch your hand forward as you exhale. Synchronized breathing, synchronized chanting, synchronized hand movements. Inhale, stretch forward as you exhale. Inhale, stretch forward as you exhale. Your eyes, relax your hands, relax. So why we are doing this? If you see anatomically, our body in our right side lung we have 3 lobes: lower lobe, mid lobe, superior lobe, and in the right you have, on the left you have 2. So all these lobes we want it to be more active, so that more volume of air is getting exchanged and your breathing becomes more rhythmic, more uniform and calm. If you are breathing calmly, then you will also remain calm mentally. That's the whole logic. So we want to improve the function of all the 3 lobes. So the shoulder level practice will work for your lower lobe, and the next 135 is going to work for your mid lobe, and 180 degrees practice is going to work for the upper lobe. So keeping this in mind and understanding that this is a COVID specific class and COVID generally affects our respiratory system the most, we need to have our respiratory system very strong and fully functional. So do the breathing as deep as possible, as rhythmic and continuous as possible, and systematic breathing should be implemented. Next practice, legs together, hands stretch, breathing at 135 degrees. So legs are together, fingers interlocked at your chest, elbows down. Now you are going to move your hand in 135 degrees or diagonal movement. Inhale, stretch forward and upward. So above your forehead level. Okay. So above your forehead level you are going to move, not right above your head. And exhaling, come back in diagonal manner. Try not to do this moving down and going up. Okay, this is not the practice that we want. Inhale, stretch right above your forehead in the front, exhaling back. Now continue for 7 rounds, keeping the eyes closed. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, return. 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 Last round. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, return. Now, in this we chant Okara. Okay? U or A, O. That O you will pronounce for the whole breath. No Omkara, only Okara. Inhaling, stretch out. As you chant O when you exhale, feel the vibration in your chest region. Feel the vibration in the chest. Try to make your lip like a little bit in a circular manner. Inhale out. As you exhale. Inhale, stretch. Lengthen the spine, lengthen your arm. Feel the vibration and its effects on your chest region. Slowly open your eyes. Next practice, we'll go for hand stretch breathing at 180 degrees, that is right above your head. You're going to remain fingers interlocked, elbows down. This time you're going to move your hand by the side of your nose. As you inhale, stretching your hand right above your head. As you exhale, bringing your elbow down, your hand touching your nose, and hand relaxed on the chest. Continue. Inhaling, stretch up, all the way up. Lengthen your spine. Lengthen your arm. As you exhale, come down. Inhale, stretch up. Keep your eyes closed. Now that you know the practice, involve yourself in the practice. Exhale, down. Feel the stretches. Observe the breathing. Deep breathing. Inhale deeply. Lengthen your arms. Bicep touching your ears. Palms facing upwards. Exhale, down. Palms facing down. Back onto your chest. Inhale, stretch. Lengthen your spine. Lengthen, lift your spine up. Exhale, down. Feel the air moving into your upper lobes. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. As usual, 7 rounds. Mindfully breathing. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Last round. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. In this practice, we will chant Makara, that is keeping your mouth closed, tongue will be relaxed, you're not biting your teeth, you're keeping your lower jaw relaxed, and you're going to say throughout the exhalation. You're going to feel the vibration in your head region. Okay? Inhale and stretch up, all the way, lengthen. As you exhale, do not bite your tongue, do not bite your teeth. Feel the vibration in the head. Inhale, stretch up, all the way up. Synchronized movements. Inhale up. As you exhale. Observe the vibrations and its effects on your body and mind. Slowly release your hand, open your eyes, relax in Shitila Tadasana or relaxing standing posture, legs hip width apart, hands by the side of your thighs, palms facing forward, eyes closed, standing straight. Just observe normal breathing, observe the effects, recognize the changes in your breathing. Your breathing would have become more deeper, more systematic, more natural. Now, we'll go for next practice called Kapalbhati. For this, we recommend you sit down, sit in any comfortable posture. Okay, Sukhasana, like this, normal cross leg, Chin Mudra, or you can sit in Vajrasana, whatever you are comfortable with. Sit straight. If you are not comfortable sitting down, you can sit on the chair also. Vajrasana not good for people who are having knee issues or ankle issues. So make sure any issues in these regions, you are not going to sit in Vajrasana. Especially cases like arthritis, ligament tear, please don't sit in Vajrasana. Now, we will try to learn what is Kapalbhati. Kapalbhati is a Kriya, it's a yogic Kriya technique
to cleanse your respiratory tract. Okay, the lower respiratory tract, your lungs purification. It's one of the best practices. How to do this? You need to forcefully exhale and rapidly exhale from your nose. Mouth will be closed and the abdomen goes inside. The diaphragm gets pushed up and the air from your lungs is pushed out. That is the practice. While doing this, make sure you're not inhaling voluntarily. The inhalation will be taken care by the body. You just focus on exhalation. Only exhale, exhale, exhale. And when you forcefully exhale, between exhalation, the body itself will inhale. So you don't need to worry about the inhalation part. Just focus on the exhalation. Maintain your hands in Chin Mudra, back erect, eyes closed. For now, you just observe with eyes open, just see what I'm doing, and then we will do together. And today we are going to practice slow Kapalbhati, that is one stroke for every 2 seconds. Okay, you're not going to do it very fast. So one stroke, like then next you will give a gap, and then one stroke, a gap, like that you're going to practice. So for ones who are beginners who don't know, can even keep your hand on the abdomen and just observe what you're doing. While you exhale, the abdomen should go in, it should not bulge out. Okay. You can see my hand is going in, the abdomen is going in. Each time I am going to exhale. Okay, so that's the practice. Every time you exhale, push the air out, abdomen goes in. Back erect, and we do together. One stroke for every 2 seconds. When you do this, make sure you're not shrinking your facial muscles. Facial muscles are relaxed. You're not squeezing your nose region. We'll be doing this for 1 minute. Keep practicing. Let the force be as much as possible, maximum force. Anyone having severe hypertension, cardiac conditions, do not do this. Any severe hernia, any surgeries in the abdomen, recent times, try not to do this practice. Keep doing, few more minutes, few more seconds left. Relax. Once you do Kapalbhati thoroughly for 1 minute, you will feel openness at the side of your nostril, in the sinus region, in your forehead region, and also in your chest and the throat. Try to experience that openness and freshness. Especially beginners might feel a little bit dizzy while doing this practice. It is just to the sudden oxygen rush into your brain. You feel a little dizzy. It's okay. As you practice, you will do better. Practice name Kapalabhati, shining of the skull. Once you keep doing this, the blood becomes more pure, which in turn reduces toxicity in the body, by which even your face will start to glow. That is the practice Kapalabhati, shining of your skull or your head. Next, we'll go for Bhramari Pranayam in Shanmukhi Mudra. So once you're wearing spectacles, you can remove your spectacles. Before that, you just see what I'm doing. Keep your little finger at the intersection of your lips, your ring finger the side of your nostril, your middle finger at the inner intersection of your eyes, covering your eyelid with your finger, and the forefinger above your eyebrow, and the thumb you are going to press into the targus of your ear. So targus is the bony part, the muscular part just outside the ear opening. So you're going to press that into the opening and going to seal your ears. So the whole point of this is to give silence and to focus on the inner vibrations and the darkness. By covering your eye, you will be able to experience more darkness, so that you are fully engaged into the sounds that you are going to create. Brahmari is the sound of a honeybee. So try when you see a honeybee flying, you can hear that sound. Like that, you're going to create this sound in this practice. The tongue should be touched to the upper palate, just behind your upper teeth. Okay, like this. And your mouth is closed. No facial changes when you do this practice. And adopt Shanmukhi Mudra. And close your ears. Deep inhale and stretch your breath as long as you can. Okay, maximum 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, one round you can stretch. So whatever that best you can, you do it, and we'll be doing this for 5 rounds. Deep inhale. Deep inhale, full breath. Relax. Try to do as long as your breath allows. Do not force and do not strain your lungs. If you're not able to stretch more, do more rounds. That is better. Do not strain your lungs. With practice only, you'll be able to build your lung capacity. So make sure that you're not forcing yourself. And soon after Bhramari Pranayam, do not open your eyes. There will be some residual vibrations. Observe and notice that vibrations soon after the Bhramari. Remain in Chinmudra, back straight, eyes closed. Bhramari is excellent practice to induce good sleep, instantly distress your mind, improves your attention, concentration. Now we come to the end of today's session. We will go for the closing prayer and complete. Bring your hands into Namaskara Sthiti, eyes closed. One round of Omkara all together. Deep inhale. Closing mantra, Shanti mantra, repeat after me. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramayah. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palms against each other, make it warm and nice. Keep the warm cushion on your eyes. Observe the warmth over your eyes. Give a gentle massage to your face. And slowly, looking at your palms in the front, open your eyes. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed today's session. If you like the video, do like, share, subscribe, and ensure that you're attending the entire course, which is going to be 15-day long for best benefits and to learning various aspects of yoga. This is not the only part of yoga, there are many things to be learned. So stay tuned. Hope to see your participation in all the days. Invite your friends, family members, everyone to join in. Thank you.